Night of Free Boxing. I'm back with a quick video. I don't want to talk about Kell Brook, but I guess I have to. Now, if you're gonna argue with me, right, make sure that what you say is consistent. When you're gonna compare one fighter to another, make sure you're being consistent. You're gonna say this guy keeps getting knocked out or this guy keeps doing this and that. You have to be consistent with your other fighter, right? Be consistent. Be consistent. I'll say it again. Be consistent. I hope that makes sense. Let's go into it. Some people are telling me some outrageous shit. They're telling me, Americans like Kell Brook's resume is. Like, I'm underrating Kell Brook's resume. They're trying to tell me that American hasn't really fought no one. But you have to keep in mind. Let's say if American hasn't fought anyone, and they're trying to defend Kell Brook. How you defend Kell Brook and say American hasn't fought no one? Who the fuck has Kell Brook fought then? So Kell Brook has a better resume than American? You're talking about American getting knocked out by Bredis Prescott. But my argument was Bredis Prescott had a 90% KO ratio. And then the argument was, name me one good fighter that Bredis Prescott knocked out. No, he didn't knock any good fighter out. He fought bums. But guess what? All of the fighters that Kell Brook was fighting also fought bums. And yeah, they didn't have a 90% KO ratio. So what does that tell you? This is what I mean. Like, people are not consistent. Be consistent all throughout. Be consistent, right? This guy's telling me that, and by the way, let me go into for those who are tuning in, let me just talk about what my take on Kell Brook. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's one of the best fighters from the UK. Probably one of the best welterweights out there. But when it comes to stuff like him trying to say he did it the hard way and American did it the easy way, he knows he's lying. When it comes to saying shit like I was past Floyd Mayweather's undefeated 47-0, this is when he came off a win against Sean Porter, and I think he was going into the Jojo Dan fight. No shit, you fight bums most of your career, chances are you will go past 47-0. But he knows he's just chatting basic shit when he says that. American got caught wanking, and that shit was funny. Now, when Kell Brook tried to make fun of that, though, that shit wasn't funny. Because, yeah, that shit is funny, but who are you? Look at you. Look at you. And this comment, like, we know, right? Kell Brook tried to assault a bar manager for not letting him enter a ladies' toilet. What got you to that point where you are so desperate to go to the ladies' toilet? I'm just wondering. And this guy who's commenting, like a bunch of guys who's commenting on my channel, basically is saying that, and they've been saying it for a long time. They're pretending like as if getting caught wanking is worse than trying to enter a ladies' toilet forcefully. Like, that's how you know they're biased. They're just biased. They hate American for a reason. They hate Kell Brook. And it's for some biased reason. That's all there is to it. How you gonna tell me getting caught wanking is worse than trying to enter a ladies' toilet? Like, you're so desperate that you want to go into a toilet where it's mainly used by, it is only used by vaginas. Kell Brook wants to, I don't know. Does he have a vagina? I don't know. That's the thing. Now we know American has a dick. But we don't know if Kell Brook has a dick because he wants to go to the ladies' toilet. This guy wanted to go to the ladies' toilet. Like, what the fuck, man? It's just so weird. Everything about Kell Brook is so fucking weird. Like, and then these guys, that's how you know these guys are biased. Getting caught wanking is not worse than trying to enter a ladies' toilet. It's not. It's not. And you know that. These guys, they've gone wank. They've wanked and shit. And for those who want to know, right, American was not recording himself wanking, right? That's bullshit. That was Skype. You can hear that, people told me you can hear that was Skype. Travis Gotti said that, right? So it was a Skype chat, and anyone can get recorded. Even if you're not on Skype, right? Do you know that you can get recorded? Do you even know that? Some can really hack into your, I don't know how they do this, but they can actually, that's why some people that are paranoid, they put like a tape on the camera, on their webcam, on the laptop. They do it for good measures because you can actually get taped anytime possible. That's the actual reality. So when he's on Skype doing some shit, like, you know, people, if they're watching porn, and don't tell me you haven't, because these guys, before I would say don't tell me you haven't, it's because most of these guys, they probably have nothing to do anyway. I mean, I see them commenting 24 hours almost, hating on me just for no reason. You must have no life. People like that, they watch porn. So, back into the situation of Kell, Brook and American, my take on it. If you're even watching porn, right, and you're doing your thing, they can actually record you even if you're not on a webcam or anything. They can actually record you straight flat out. They can record you anytime. And there are people that do this, especially to celebrities, you know, because then you can blackmail them and get money. And also, like, maybe try to defame celebrities, because I'm fairly sure there are other people that's willing to pay for this shit to be released. Getting, you know, wanking. Like, I mean, how many people, tell me this, right? Out of 1 million people, how many has not, out of 1 million guys, how many has not wanked? Just give me, how many of you guys have not wanked? And that's not a question. I don't want you to tell me, just be honest, just ask yourself this. So, you know, how many people do you know that are desperate to go to the ladies' toilet, and so desperate that they attack the bar manager and they want to go into a toilet which is used by people with vaginas? I mean, that's crazy. Kell, Brook, right? He was supposed to go to community service for that. But guess what? I mean, Frank Warren was his promoter at the time. This was in 2010. And Frank Warren, what he'd done is he wrote a letter to the court trying to exempt him from the community service because it will get in the way of him with his mandatory spot for the WBO, I believe, was some title, right? He could have been the mandatory for that title. I believe the title was held by Timothy Bradley, but I mean, you know, 2010 he could have been a mandatory for something. So basically, he was exempted from the community service. But then guess the reason, as I said, the reason why he got exempted is because he wanted to be the mandatory so he can have a title shot. This was in 2010. And you know, finally he got a title shot at 2014. And it was for a different title. It was not for the same title that he got exempted for. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, it wasn't for the mandatory spot that he could have got at 2010 that he got exempted the community service from. It was a different title to the IBF title. I hope I worded that right. I mean, I don't even. This video is turning into shit for real. I mean, we're talking about a fighter, right, who's been a hypocrite, been shit outside the ring for his entire life, as we can see. So, I mean, no shit, the video is gonna turn into shit. I like Kell Brook. I mean, I like him as a fighter. I just don't like his hypocrisy. Like, I can't let that go. I used to be a Kell Brook fan. Up until, like, I mean, I used to kind of be annoyed by, you know, it's one thing to talk shit about fighters, right? It's one thing to talk shit about American or whoever. But I actually didn't mind Danny Garcia talking shit about American, you know. When Angel Garcia says, take your magic carpet and fly back to your whatever. Fly back to the Queen or some shit. The British people, they didn't get offended. A lot of British people didn't get offended, man. They got offended. They just happy that Americans getting offended. But you know, to me, I didn't really mind. People say I'm a Khan fanboy, but I don't really mind when Angel Garcia was saying shit. He need to chew some bubble gum, and that you know, he goes, hey, American never chewed a bubble gum in his life. That was funny. But it's when you're actual hypocrite to a point where it's like cheesy, like fucking bullshit. Like, look at you. You're talking about all this shit, but look at you. You know, if Danny Garcia had a glass chin, right, which he doesn't, and he was talking shit about American's chin, that would be hypocritical. But, you know, Danny Garcia can back up. If Kell Brook was a guy, right, who's been fighting a good level of opposition for most of his career, right? I would have given him a pass. I would have given him a pass, right? For all this shit. Apart from the wanking shit, because I'm gonna have to rip him apart for that, man. Because that's hypocritical when he got caught going to the ladies' toilet. And you know he got exempted from the community service because he would have got a title shot. He didn't get a title shot. He didn't even try for a title shot. That was just a bullshit excuse to escape community service. Kell Brook needs to be put back into community service for lying. But you know, that's just me. Let me know what you think. 93 Boxing, I'm out. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back with more videos soon.